It happened. Like, fucking mustache was sweating and everything.
You thinking about cutting down that mustache when it gets too hot?
No, man. It ain't gonna happen, dude. It's all fucked up, too. I don't have, like, some of these guys have, like, perfect mustache. Mine's, like, it just did a 40-hour work week. It's just like, fuck it. It's Saturday, I'm relaxing.
Bro Church is a highly sophisticated podcast, hosted by highly sophisticated people. If you believe that, I'll tell you another.
I got the audio recording on this end. All right, man.
There we go. I love it.
This is it.
This
is it.
Finally.
You're drinking water. I was going to salute to you, but that's bad luck. You should have gotten a drink.
I'm like, woman, get me a drink.
Yeah, get him a drink. Please.
And then a bottle flies in and fucking hits me in the head.
Okay, here we go. This is it. Hey. Bro Church is officially here. It's officially here, man. We will fuck your shit up officially, starting right now.
Straight up.
Yo, Max is laying behind me, and this motherfucker won't leave my feet. So there's times where I'm like walking around, I'm like,
fucking falling. Oh shit!
I'm like this fucking dog. All right, man, this is it. Hey, we've been hyping this podcast up for a while. Just a quick introduction. That's the Dave. I'm Felix. This is motherfucking Bro Church. We are not here to offend, but if it happens, so be it. We don't apologize for anything.
Take 2 fish pills and call it in the morning.
Yeah. We've been toying around with the Bro Church idea for about 10 years. 10 years ago. For those that don't know, Dave and I are brothers-in-law. He's married to my sister, so obviously for the past 20 plus years, we've had a chemistry of shenanigans and fuckery. And 10 years ago, Dave was like, let's do a YouTube channel. We'll call it Bro Church. I thought it was a great name. But with the distance, with you in Delaware, Dave, and me in Pennsylvania, even though it's not that far away, it was not that easy to get together every now and then. And obviously doing it through, we're using Riverside right now, but having a virtual interface was not really that poppin' 10 years ago. So here we are. I said, I got the JMC podcast, which is done now, but the JMC podcast kind of ushered in this wave of podcasting that I'm doing. And I was like, it would be dope to revisit Bro Church and try this motherfucking shit again. Yeah. We've been pushing it on socials for the past week. People have been like, yo, I'm excited. What is this? Yeah. This is not your granddaddy's news.
Nope. I mean, it can be, but I'll tell you what, when the idea came up, I gotta honestly say we were focused and we were there and we were also drunk. I lied about the focus part. We were just
yeah.
Hey, you know what? This is a great idea. I'm fucking hammered. Let's sit down and record it. That's how it was conceived, through liquor.
And my dumbass, like, we had it recorded and put on YouTube, and then I went through a phase where I was like, oh, we're never going to use this again, so I deleted it. Like, I would have loved to. I mean, there's no other fucking video copy of that anywhere, no clip of any. We had a whole conversation about zombies, and you were pissing me off with the zombie talk, which I think we can probably recreate that sometime in Bro Church now. But I'm excited, man. You know, I'm glad we're doing this. You know, when I say I'm excited, like I'm genuinely like I feel like I can stretch my arms and flap my wings a little bit, you know, because I've been doing, and I'm proud of the JMC podcast, but I've had to maintain a sense of professionalism, and it sounds horrible to say because I am still professional, but I'm kind of I don't. Yeah, I want to be able to be like, that was fucking dumb, but I can't say that before, but I can say it now. So so it's all good. So let's you know, a lot of people obviously I don't want to say a lot of people, but those that have been following me know me, but they don't know you, Dave. Like fucking shit, man. Break it down for people. Where are you from, and what the fuck are you doing with my sister anyway?
Well, you must know. This conversation normally leads into an argument from here. Right?
I know. As soon as I said that, I was like, oh, that was fucking dumb. Why'd I say
that? My name is David, and I go off the Dave because back in the I used to work in Lancaster, Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Let me fucking say that correctly.
Everybody from New York, Lancaster.
Originally, I was born in Passaic, New Jersey, so I got a fucked up accent from the beginning. So everything's mixed up. So, but anyway, from American Music Theater out in Lancaster, I got there was this guitarist, and they put "the" in front of his name. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna adopt that. So ever since then, it was just the Dave.
Oh, and, I never knew that, dude.
Yeah. And I was like, I like that. I'm taking it. So I did. I stole that shit. So, but generally, I'm just unfiltered. I try to be filtered the best I can, but my train of thought kind of goes outside the box a little bit. It's kind
You've gotten better. You've gotten better for the past probably 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, it's like a box that got rained on, so it's not as sturdy. Sometimes, you know, it's just mush. Other days,
sometimes people try to pick you up, but you just fall through the bottom.
Yeah.
And we're going to pick Dave up. Everything falls through the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, everybody that knows me kind of knows, like, you know, the general consensus is, oh, well, that's Dave. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Or if I start talking and I go, hey, you know what? I have an idea. It kind of ends up like, oh, shit, or dear God, or here we go, or Jesus Christ, I'm going to need another drink. So that's pretty much where it kind of lines up to. So, and ever since then, I kind of just enjoyed it. So it's just life. Cool. That's just how it is. So.
All right,
that's
man.
Where I'm at. That's my intro.
Yeah, Dave is a one-of-a-kind character. You know, he's a genuine person. When he says he loves you, he means it. And when he says he's done with you, he fucking means it. And it's always like, it was always comfortable for me because I like knowing where I stand with people. Mm-hmm. And with Dave, you know where you stand. So,
you
obviously, like, go.
You know what's funny is that when basic relationship that we have is like when I ever give you a compliment and I'm talking like, hey man, you're doing a great job, and everybody stops and just waits for me to say something smart ass towards the end, and then when it doesn't show up, they're very surprised. They're like, whoa, where did that come from?
Because nobody knows what to say. Every time you start getting sentimental and you're serious, it's like, what is this? What is this? We're like we're waiting for the ball busting backhanded compliment to come through.
Like everybody resets, like they're not sure. They're walking down a dark alley with a little flashlight, and they're all scared. Like, okay, I'm not sure what's going to be popping out now. That's basically our relationship.
Oh man, well, I'm glad that we're doing this. I'm happy for those that are watching and joining us. The goal really is and I'm telling you this now, Dave. Obviously, live and we're already recording, but the goal is to really do this live. Like you can have people watching. while we're recording. So once we get a few of these under our belt and then we get things rolling, I really feel like the energy and the chemistry and the fucking bravado of these two men in front of you is going to pull you in for some shit shows and some entertainment and shenanigans. Well, what we're doing on this podcast is we're talking about trending topics, everything that's going on, and we're giving you our take, the bro church take. We're going to offer our advice as ill-equipped with positive reinforcement as it is. We're still going to offer this advice to you, and we're going to give you our take. And if we've got a few drinks on us, it's even worse.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start, Dave? Like, well, let me let you start. Right now we're recording this. It's July 14th. It's a Sunday. It's 3:30 p.m. Yesterday, did this happen yesterday with the attempted assassination or the shooting of Donald Trump?
This happened yesterday. I mean, let me see here, just to be sure, because you know everybody's gonna fact check us and be like, "Oh, that fucking happened with that guy." Well,
that's why. You guys don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, but it looks like it did happen yesterday. So exactly what time, I don't know. You know, it's just I don't really read those details on the news. All I hear is like a broad general consensus.
I've heard about it briefly. I haven't really read into it, but I know that. I was curious about your take on it because you have experience. We were talking about this off air. You have experience with security, and there's a lot of stories that we can get in about that. But his Secret Service or his protection, his security, like what happened? How could something like this take place? So an attempt on his life.
I tell you what, it just so. Just right off the bat, it ain't got nothing to do with politics in regards. Like my views on it, like I don't care either.
Oh, but this isn't a show about politics.
It's like a dumpster fire just standing there with the marshmallows. But as far as just what happened, I mean, you got to think this guy, it's Trump, right? Yeah, he's probably on the top list on everybody's views right now as to what's going on either side. You know,
sure.
So this guy shows up. There's gonna be a rally, right? And he's got Secret Service with him, you know, of course. So he's also got the local police department. He's got the FBI. Like every defense department is there. So I don't know if a lot of people know that prior to these events, these guys show up, case the place, and say, okay, you know, let's post up here. Let's make sure we direct traffic through here, you know. So they have kind of like an action plan for when any speaker shows up. And where it's located, it's like in the open field, like not open farm field, but in the open area. They stage up so that way everybody can go and hang out. Not one CIA agent, not one FBI agent or local police department turned around and say, "Hey, you see that fucking building over there? That's a good spot." You know, you got these guys like CIA. Like, not even that. The Secret fucking Service are supposed to be like the best of the best, right? They're supposed to be the number one above all motherfuckers that's supposed to protect the president, right? So these guys are sitting here rigorous training, and not one of those dumbasses were able to look and say, that spot right there, 500 feet away, kind of nice little high rise, because most of these guys are also trained snipers, from my understanding, right? Because they had a sniper responding to the guys firing. So not even that sniper was able to say, "Hey guys, I'm a sniper. If I wanted to take this motherfucker out, that'd be a good spot. Let's post some guys up there. You know, let's have a couple guys on that roof just in case somebody wanted." No, not one. So when it happened, prior to it, you know, people were saying to the cops, "Hey, there's a guy climbing on the roof up there, you know, with the rifle. Might want to check that out." You know, cops are like, "Yeah, sure, buddy. I'm watching the show right now. You go back, citizen. Go back to what you're doing." And I'm telling you, like, there's witnesses accounting for all this, like telling the cops, "Hey, this motherfucker's climbing up there," and he's just like, "Hey, officer,
Oh, so they saw
up,
somebody
guys?
They saw somebody climbing up to the
Yeah.
top of the building.
They actually from witnesses' accounts, they actually saw this guy scale the side of the building with his rifle. Like this motherfucker had it on, like a backpack, just walking around like drinking water and Coors Light and jumping up on there and just trying to.
Not Coors Light. Don't throw them under the bus.
Imagine this motherfucker walking up there, stops halfway. Hey guys, you mind? Hey, do you mind if I go up there? Because cops are like,
It's
yeah,
the
sure,
high
buddy.
life, right? Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. So he climbs up, posts up, sets up, and starts ripping up fire. So he gives off 8 rounds, and one of them hits Trump's ear. And now all of a sudden you got these guys covering him up. All of a sudden, you got ATF, fucking everybody showing up with their high power rifles and shit, and they're all like responding. But you think that all this could have been avoided if they would have just said, hey, the single only building near here, because it was the only building nearby, saying, let's post it up, let's protect. So now everybody's saying there's a whole conspiracy on it. It didn't fucking take long. This is 24 hours later? Dude, the internet is fast.
Well, they're also saying that this could allegedly be a setup to make Donald Trump look like this badass American hero. That's fake blood. I don't know. It's all speculation. I don't know. I'm just obviously kind of spilling what I've read briefly. I got into a little bit, and for those that are catching up with us finally. This is an impromptu recording Dave and I are doing last minute. We didn't really get a chance to really dive into much research. So we're, Dave knows more than I do about the situation, which is why I'm asking Dave. So we're not going to sit here and speculate. Really, it was just so much. It was just bizarre that if that was the only building in the area, and he has security of different forms, how could something like this happen? Dave, I remember when we were, we'd go out, but back in the day when we would go out, you always would kind of keep your back to a wall, and it was kind of, sometimes it was like, Dave, can we fucking hang out? I would tell Alexandra all the time, I was like, when we go out with Dave, you just gotta be ready, because Dave's just gonna scope the place out, and he's gonna tell you where the nearest exit is and all that. But the thing is like when you have that type of response to your job, how could something like the former president, who has high detailed security, how could something like that happen where there's witnesses that say, yeah, but that to me, and apparently this person is a Republican. I don't know that for sure. I've read a little bit of that as well. It just makes you wonder, like, is this set up? Is this not? Regardless, it's a shit show in my opinion, because it's horrible.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like I said, set politics aside, like just the simple fact, like if I was Trump, kneeling on my knees, fucking blood coming out of my side, I'd be looking at these motherfuckers and be like, you guys had one fucking job. Fucking job, and you missed a one fucking building 500 feet away. Nobody posted. Nobody. Not one motherfucker posted. No, but I tell you what, like a motherfucker like me was walking around with a rifle, because this guy apparently was just walking around like it was a broomstick.
He blended in.
Oh, dude, if I was just walking with an umbrella trying to scale it to get a better view, I would have been taken out in a minute. You know what I mean? But this motherfucker shows up like, hey, guys.
Well, he probably had a Trump shirt. He probably had a Trump shirt. He probably was a white guy. Maybe. I'm speculating, but it just makes you wonder. Like, you're right. Like, I can't imagine if you, Dave, I mean, you are, 6'2"? You're very scary looking. You've got a lot of, you've got a bravado of.
I would have been dead at the concession stand. Oh, he's ordering a corn dog. Put that motherfucker down.
You just step out to get instructions, and you're dead within 35 seconds.
I'm not even there for the Trump rally. I'm like, hey guys, you know where to get to Harrisburg from here? Oh, fucking get him! He wants to go to Harrisburg.
Who the fuck goes to Harrisburg?
Kill that motherfucker. Yeah, man, dude, it was a shit show as far as defense department. Like, it was just from the local police to all the way up to the fucking secret agent, like secret agents to protect these fucking president. You failed, man. Like that's just horrible. Just a basic guy, because at a Trump rally you have the preppers, right? And these guys are. You think I'm bad as far as casing the joint? Like these guys already probably cased that joint prior. Have meal stacks in certain places just in case the fucking country goes down. And they're probably all sitting there looking at the building like, man, that's a bad spot. But no, not the Secret Service. They're like, oh, let's protect the president, and they go get some burgers afterwards.
Well, regardless if it was a true assassination attempt or if it was pre-planned, this was a setup. It's probably doing wonders for Trump. I'm sure the image of him raising his fist with the ear bleeding, and I'm sure it's doing a lot of great PR work for Trump and his team. That is to be expected.
I tell you what, he's gonna, because he's a business guy, right? He knows how to make money. It's just he knows how to spend it. He knows how to make it. So I am not going to be surprised that in a week he's going to have Air Jordans with an ear and a hole in it, trying to sell for $500. It's gonna be Trump sneakers with two ears, one with a hole in it.
It's gonna be it's a silhouette. It's a silhouette of Trump doing the jump man. Yeah, he's gonna be like this. But his one ear is missing.
On a sneaker.
Like even with one ear, I still hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Shut up.
His new coin is going to have a hole in it.
His coin's going to have a hole where his ear went.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you this guy's going to capitalize on this, make a t-shirt or something, and fucking
they've already got images of 50 Cent's body from the Get Rich or Die Trying era. See? And but cropping Donald Trump's face. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
The Matrix. Remember the Matrix when he was dodging the bullets? They already have that set up, the lady trying to shoot it, and he's dodging it.
He's dodging them, but he dodges 7. But the 8th one got his ear.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what. I got to admit, Donald Trump's got some moves, man. He was like, oh, shit. Like, oh, like, okay. He was fucking, ducking and diving, man. He whizzed it, man. That shit's scary, regardless of who you are, man. Getting the bullet.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That shit whizzed by your ear.
Absolutely. We obviously look. This isn't a political show, but we are going to discuss the shenanigans if it comes up in politics, which is probably going to be a lot. But regardless of your views and regardless of how you feel about either candidate, nobody wants to see anybody die. Like I don't feel that's a humane response, a natural humane response anyway. But obviously, let's move on now.
We all do want to see them go in a match and have a cage fight. That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, that's different. And it's got to be with Joe Biden, but Joe Biden, because it's got to be like you just need that slow response. Can you imagine Joe Biden like in the cage, like how the hell did I get in here? And just kind of.
What if secretly Joe Biden has a fucking switch? He enters that cage and just turns into fucking a UFC fighter. All of a sudden, just fucking start going ham and shit. And then when it's all over, how did it happen?
Well, it's got to be like Celebrity Deathmatch from MTV back in like late 90s.
Remember that?
Yeah, they gotta have that. They gotta have that. Let's move on though.
What you got?
Oh man, so let's move on here. Let's talk about AI. We kind of talked about it. You and I have been going back and forth, marketing Bro Church. We've been utilizing AI out the ass, and I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer in we gotta utilize this because it just makes everything so much easier. But also the creativity kind of takes off, and we've been pushing different memes and stuff to create, the humor to kind of promote this, the Bro Church podcast. But even AI itself, where we are right now in 2024 and what they're coming out with, learning and researching it on my end, I've been like really blown away. Like, you start reading and getting hip to the shit that's coming, and it's just like the things that you can do. And obviously, there's a lot of people that probably have an opposite reaction and feeling about it. But I'm on the side of this is beneficial. Obviously, everything that comes, any type of invention or creation, it has its flaws, but this can be useful if you use it the right way. If you know how to use it, it kind of gives you like an extra set of arms to do other shit while you're working. And I feel like that's what we've been able to utilize right now. But it's scary. It kind of gives you like, you know, the Terminator vibes of Skynet, you know, but like this is where we are right now, dude. Like, AI is here.
Yeah, the thing about AI is when it gives me that whole Terminator vibe, it doesn't do it in a sense like it's gonna take over the world and just annihilate humans. Maybe, I don't know, but to me, no. Skynet comes out, right, with this AI program and takes your picture and makes it look better. So basically what AI is saying is like, dude, no offense, but the real you looks like shit. Let me see what I can do. Let me hook you up. Let's get some pictures going. Because let me tell you gave me some pictures of me that were like, I can't fucking do that with the camera. Man, there's no fucking way. Every time I get a goddamn camera on my face, it looks like I'm getting the numbers underneath, getting arrested for it. But AI took it and said, you know what? There's going to be a lot of fucking work for this guy, so here's some, and they came out fantastic, dude. Like, there was the fucking Game of Thrones look, you know what I mean? I love the Rat Pack look with the suit. Like, I can't get that. So AI is not here to take over the world physically by destroying humans. No, they're gonna do it by making you feel like shit. That's what they're gonna fuck with your self-conscious enough so that way you want them to take over the world. They say, look at here, you ugly piece of shit. Sit down. Let me handle this, and let me make you look better.
You know, one of the things that I didn't think about was when there's different apps that give you this experience, and obviously the creating your own avatar off your picture is what Dave's talking about. And I was creating a bunch of images with our pictures, and you have to submit at least 10 images per face, 10 or more, 10 to 30. And there's a lot of those pictures where I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know I looked good in that shirt. And as soon as Alexandra saw it, she said, see, I told you. She was like, don't tell me that shirt wasn't look good on you. Now, and I'm like, fuck, now I got all these. I shouldn't have sent them to her because now she's like, that turtleneck looks good on you. Like, let's go right now. And I'm like, damn it, babe. Like, so now I'm screwed in that regard. But I gotta tell you, it makes you look fly. Like, even the ones of you with your hat and you got a blazer on with the it's like, okay, I didn't realize I can make that shit kind of work. I can do that.
Say you're already succumbing to the machine, man. Don't fucking do it,
dude. And I tell you what, it kind of like you start putting money aside. Like, this is a budget for AI spending. I'm going to put this to the side because it's like it costs not a lot of money, but it's like, depending on what you're doing, it could be like $3 to $7, and and you're getting like 100 different versions, and then like I'm getting in the Chat GPT, and I upgraded to the 4.0, and that's like 20 some a month. Yeah. But I'm trying different things because I'm like, listen, I use AI. All of my I'm saying this now because I want people to understand what I'm talking about. But all my captions, for the most part, all of my captions, all of my descriptions, they're all AI generated, but they're AI generated with my input of the information. I just need help structuring it a certain way. And there's times where AI will give me something and I like it, but there's some things I need to change, and I'll flip it a little bit, but. To discuss with AI, like, here are my plans, help me build. I asked AI to build a weekly schedule for me on how to what should I post on what day for social media?
Oh, wow.
And how do I incorporate this on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok? And it gives you day by day different types of posts, what you should post, ideas, and then I take that formula and I incorporate my own shit to it. It's like that's the middleman for me, where it's like, if you can utilize that, you're jumping leaps and bounds ahead of where you would be if you were trying to figure this out on your own. So, and a lot of people were like, oh, this isn't genuine. This isn't organic. Like it is, in my opinion, because we're just utilizing a search engine, if you will, with a brain to really incorporate I say like they're people, but like, the AI is giving you their input. But then it starts opening doors in your head and you start thinking differently. And I think that's the point that I'm trying to make, where it's like, it forces you to step your game up, where you're like, oh, wait a minute. If I can do this, then let me do this. And the next thing you know, boom, 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 we're moving. But you have to be able to keep up, and you have to be able to hit the ground running with AI.
It's like when the people complain about AI, they don't understand that publicists do exactly the same thing. Like when you hire a publicist, they tell you what to wear, where to go, when to go,
That's a good point.
Talk about. You know what I mean? Like this is AI is basically a publicist that you don't have to feed, that you don't have to take care of. You just pay your payment to get the pictures or whatever you need to do, and then be on the way. You don't have to hear the bitch and the complaining. And you don't have to, make sure they're still breathing at the end of the day, and if AI bothers you, turn it the fuck off, but it's literally what a publicist does. So what's the difference? One you have to pay, one you have to deal with. The other one, you put your input in, it gives you 1,000 options, and you still have control as to what options you want. Like, for instance, when some of the quotes I say, actually, believe it or not, true story, the only time it's ever readjusted was one time, and it was some spelling errors that because when I fucking spelling goes out the window. But it corrected that, and then how it gives you all the options. It gave me a couple options. One time I was like, oh yeah, that's better. But I don't think AI is fully there to understand my sarcasm, because I put sarcastic comments, like every other sarcastic comment that I got, it literally repeated it. Like it's buddy. This is the best option. Go with it.
Well, I think also too, like, considering the type of humor that we are bringing to the table, like AI is programmed, or the certain ones anyway, they're programmed to not really go too far with it because of their restrictions and their policies. So it's, you have to kind of like utilize it the best way you can, and then add your flair to it to push it. Because there's times where I was like, it would say, well, I can't do that. And I would say, well, then explain to me why you can't do that and how can I get around it? And it would explain why. And then it would say, but if you were to ask for this, then I could probably do that. I'm like, all right, well, let's do that. And, it's kind of playing the game, but you still have to use your brain to build the conversation with it. It's constantly learning off of what you tell it. And yesterday I was driving, and I was actually breaking down what I'm trying to do with JMC Collective with the AI, with Chat GPT. And I even asked it, I said, will you remember all of this information that I'm giving you? And it said, yeah, I'm going to remember all of this for future references, and I'll be able to engage and go back and there's a lot that it can't do, but there's so much that it can. And I use that for like the notes and spitting ideas and having it saved somewhere that I can go back and go, hey, remember when I talked about that? Can you recite it back to me so that I can go back and build on it now that I'm ready? That to me is just productivity to the umpteenth degree. I can understand that it can be intimidating for people that aren't too savvy with technology and what's coming down the pike, but my God, if you can harness it and you can really use it for whatever it is you're doing. We have a podcast and we're creatives, but there's people that are real estate agents, there are people that are doctors, that are lawyers, there are farmers, there are bakers, people that can utilize this just to promote their business or build signs or brochures. The fucking sky's the limit with this shit, dude.
It's insane, man, because you literally gave me an idea, because if we can get AI to wrap up and make AI husband, because everything you just said, my wife complains about. I don't listen. I don't remember what the hell she was talking about. She says, "Are you going to remember this?" I say, "Yeah, sure." And then 10 minutes later, she asks me, "Hey, what did I do?" I don't fucking know. I don't remember. You know what I mean? So if we can come together as a husband community and create an AI and call it the AI husband, our lives would be so much better. So when our wives start talking, we can just, bloop, "Hey, Google, bring up AI husband," and the wives talk to this. It's going to remind
No. But what you do is you create the AI husband app, and it's on your smartwatch. And when your wife starts talking, you just hit the AI button, and it just starts recording the conversation you're having. And then when you're done and you leave, you go, "Hey, you got that, right?" And AI is like, "Yeah, I got you. Listen, this is what she wants." And
we'll
this,
talk about this later.
We'll talk about this later.
It's gonna be like, "Yeah, I got you, man. Later on when we're eating, I'll let him know. But do me a favor, just put me on alert just in case she comes by again. I got you, man." It starts vibrating. She comes in, just get her another smart watch so it syncs up. So every time she's in like 100 feet vicinity, your watch starts to vibrate and it starts giving you all the talking points that you had before. and the to-do list starts swiping.
Yeah, as soon as your wife says, "Hey, remember when we talked about that?" and you're like, "We did," your watch immediately goes off. Like, yes, and then bullet points. This and this and this. Remember? Like, "Oh yeah, the oil needs to be changed in the car. I got that, babe."
And you know what? They need to team up with Google Glasses, so that way we don't even have to look down at our watches. We can blindly stare at our wives like we're looking through her. As the points start coming down through our glasses, like she's like, "What are you doing? Why are you staring at me?" "Oh, because you're beautiful." And it's like trying to remind you, like, "Dude, say something."
Yeah, say so. Get off YouTube and say something. Like, you remind me of anime. Sorry.
It starts buzzing like, "Dude, you fucked up. Here." And AI, you know how speech to text for AI starts coming out, say these, and you start picking out options. All right. No. Yep, that'll work. I'm telling you, man, we're going to fucking make millions. I'm telling you.
Oh, man, work. That's beautiful.
It's going to work. This is going to save marriages, man. I'm telling you.
Bro Church is here to save the man and the husband, or not even man, just, fucking non-binary people. If you identify as a man, we don't discriminate in Bro Church. We will help you in your relationship. Yeah, if you have a hard time remembering shit that your spouse tells you, AI husband, AI, Bro Church AI. We are here to help you.
Yeah. How about Bro Church relationship saver? or other. What is it? We're going to best of other or something like the best half.
Best.
We're still working on the name here.
That's patent pending. Let's move on, brother. Is there anything else you want to keep talking about AI?
No, just our book that AI is going to write, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, we might as well let's talk about that. So one of the things I shared on was a lot of, it's all parody promotion that I'm putting out there, for Bro Church. There's a movie and there's a book. None of that's real, but it's just like, well, what if because we could write a book and have AI help us and then use the apps like Canva and shit like that to start promoting the book and the artwork and the flyers. And it's like, that shit can be done. All of that is manageable. We could, the fucking sky's the limit with the Bro Church book. Call me, bro. Call me, bro.
Look, all you have to do, because there's a lot of prompts. Every time you AI speech is one that I use ever so often, and you put in a prompt, like say a couple words and call it a day. All I gotta write is book, beer, shit talk, sarcasm, and I got a novel. Stephen King
There
shit
you
right
go.
there, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's all it is.
Yeah, and like, like talking with people through the interviews I've done, it's like learning how to like deal with the bullshit of getting a book deal and all that. Like, well, maybe there's different ways we could just go about it. Like, we could make
Yeah.
this so hot that they come to us.
Yep.
You
Barnes
know,
and Noble's gonna have our
well,
books, and it's gonna be nothing but Elmo's glue, a couple
we're
sticks on a macaroni cover on the. As soon as you open it, pages start falling out because the glue's not good.
like, can you sign this for me? But it's literally still wet. It's fine. This is art.
Complimentary duct tape. Give them duct tape so they can just piece it together. Signed by Bro Church.
Oh man. Okay, so let's move on here. Next topic of conversation I have is the Captain America Brave New World coming out February 14th of 2025. That's a Valentine's Day premiere. It's the first official movie where Falcon takes over as Captain America. Now, you are the comic book guru out of the two. I know enough to kind of skate by, but I don't know the ins and outs. So talk to me. Obviously, we know that this is the emergence of the Red Hulk in the MCU franchise. Yes?
That's going to be cool. And it's going to be cool seeing Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. Now, as I hope that the CGI, because Marvel has done shit job with
for a while
CGI.
There,
yeah, like it was, and I can see why, because they were making these movies during COVID, and everybody's working from home, so they only had limited resources. So I'm hoping now that they have the resources that they up the ante on the fucking CGI. Like, let's just be honest. I don't want to see Red Hulk, looking at like the head of Harrison Ford and everything looks like a puffy red guy with gym shorts on. It's not going to happen. But I'm really hoping that they really push this franchise, because it's going to be something else. This is a new path we're walking here. And finally walking, like I said before, creating the stories that's already out there, instead of trying to paste it over a story that's been there, that we've done so many times, 1,000 times, and just changing the hue of the color. No, we finally have a story and we're pushing forward. Like, I don't know if people know that they did a comic book about the first Captain America, and it wasn't Steve Rogers. I forget what the guy's name was. I got to do the research on it, but it was a great comic book that when they used to use African Americans to study for the soldier serum. That storyline, fucking amazing. One of the best comic books I read, dude. I'm telling you.
So they used African Americans to. This was This is the story in the comic books.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, one of the you got the first Captain America, and they touched on it on the Falcon series when they had the show on Disney Channel.
Yeah,
they touched on it, and when he went to that guy's house, and I think it was Baltimore, he was Captain America. He was the one from the comic book. And
is that the one they keep showing in all the reels and stuff? The older black man, and he's sitting there. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay,
because he was the original Captain America. They needed test subjects, right? And of course, they're going to test on us because we're the best. We got the gene for it. So
they
pushed on it. They pushed the serum on, and then they created the Captain America, and he was fucking badass, dude. And I hope they push that story through.
Oh, hell yeah, that would be so cool.
It was so fucking cool. So when I saw the Falcon movie come out, I'm like, all right, great. I hope, when we push the Captain America story, I hope we go deep dive into, the first Captain America show. I at least make it a series on the side, because they briefly touched on it, but they didn't really deep dive on it. And I think Marvel's got something on there. So, but who knows? Maybe this movie will pave the way for it.
I think also, like, just like I said, I know enough to skate by as a fan from the outside. I've always felt disappointed with the Hulk, the representation of Hulk. Every now and then, like the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, I personally love that movie. I liked the when they kind of brought Ragnarok, they brought Planet Hulk in there a little bit, or not Planet Hulk, the Hulk from that comic book era. They brought him he's fighting, he's a beast, he's fucking ready to destroy shit. I watched She-Hulk with my family because they wanted to watch it. I wasn't really interested in it. I wasn't really impressed with it. It's like for whatever reason that character just can't get a fucking representation of pure anarchy the way that I remember like the TV series or the comics when I did read them. So like, is the Red Hulk, is that going to be like a possible emergence of a beast of a Hulk?
You know what? I hope they just, because what happened was people's views, politics, and emotions got into Marvel, right? She-Hulk could have been fucking bomb because her storyline is fucking badass. You see what I'm saying? Because here's a woman who got the Hulk blood in her, changes to the Hulk, and fully accepts that she's the Hulk. She's not hiding it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she goes from being normal to the Hulk and back, and like it's an everyday thing, and she just goes hams in a comic book. But the show got too many feelings, political views, all these people's input, and just tanked it. That's part of the reason why that show went down the drain, in my opinion, because they were trying to hit on every fucking topic that was out there, and you just can't do it. These comic books aren't just to explore your feelings. They're very basic. It's to get your brain out of what's going on a daily event. Like nobody wants to think about when they're reading a comic book about daily events. And if they do, how do we go above it? What do we do? What's the creative way to go around this? You see what I'm saying? Like Batman, Superman, every other superhero out there. What do we do to get out of this reality that we're in right now? And if you want to be represented, create your own fucking hero. Don't, again, use the heroes that are already created and then put your views on it. And then now you have some douchebag hero or a hero that was, raised for like Incredible Hulk, turned into, a top bun wearing guy who drinks at Starbucks. You know what I mean? Like that's not the fucking Hulk. If you deep dive into the story of the Hulk, man, his life was fucked up. You know what I mean? He grew up in an abusive home. He got raised. He pushed himself through that, became a scientist, and all that got held within inside of him. That's why he had multiple personality disorder prior to that. But it all deep dive. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. So the Hulk comes out, pure rage. Well, actually, technically in the beginning it was a gray Hulk, but it was pure rage, pure anarchy, and it was just like every person's idea of just fully unleashing, you know what I mean? Just saying, fuck it, I'm tearing shit up, because everybody's been there. You can be fucking Mother Teresa's been there before, you know what I mean? She's like, tearing shit up. You know what I mean? Come on,
can you imagine that?
And if you say you haven't been there, you're full of shit. You're
lying.
Yeah. Everybody's fucking been there. So they take this symbolic rage moment, snuff it out because they're trying to make, I hate to say it, they're demasculating the Hulk, so that way it fits people's views right now. And it's like, no, that's not the point. The point was not, hey, here's this fucking rage guy going crazy. No, it's, hey, look at this guy with so many mental issues finally unleashing his one issue of anger, and then finding the journey of him struggling with that. It's the Incredible Hulk has nothing to do with a male's persona or a female's persona. It has to do with their mental struggle with this inner beast, trying to come out fighting. And when he does come out, he fucking levels everything. And then when you turn back to human or who you are, how many times have we been angry? You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
fuck
we just
yeah, dude.
Fucking go ham. But then when we come back and calm down, right?
Yeah.
We go there and be like, oh man, I fucked up. My bad. You know what I mean?
And I kind of do go off like the Hulk. I turn like that green.
Yeah. Hey, green's fine. If you turn blue, you gotta.
You're not breathing.
But
that was pretty deep, dude. That was
I'm
fucking
you,
deep. Like I didn't, and that right there to me, That would be pretty cool. Knowing that, because I didn't know that about the split personality or the multiple personalities and the mental struggles. Knowing that and kind of looking back at the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, I felt like that was pretty close. Like, it would really be cool to kind of get more of that into that movie. Maybe, but it is what it is. I know that you're never going to get an exact replicated version of the comic book into a cinematic form. I get that, but it would be cool if people actually paid attention to the nuances that you just broke down. Because as a viewer and as a person that loves to talk about like the struggles, especially mental struggles, and how we can overcome that, that would be pretty bomb right there. That's a badass fucking storyline right there. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I wish these fucking Marvel producers would just understand, like, get your head out your ass. Like, you don't fucking have to represent everybody. If they want to be represented, they'll find a way to get represented. Like, honestly, it's as simple as that. You want to be represented, create your own fucking hero and push for that. You know what I mean? Create your comic book, create your hero, and push on the fact that this is who we represent and go for it. Like, plain and simple. But Marvel, again, shoots themselves in the foot because they want to be politically correct with fucking every single person on this planet and create the shit shows that they got now.
Well, I know that they're no longer
Star Wars. You know?
Oh, really?
Ah, dude, everybody, it's like you can't get away from it. Like politics. What? Get the fucking politics out of the show. Like,
I don't even watch Star Wars.
With a fucking lifesaver. You know? Yeah, I know Star Wars starts with politics and there's the whole grand empire and shit like that, but how much did it really deep dive on the fucking politics in Star Wars in the beginning? No, it was like, oh, the dark, oh, the light, oh, you're my dad, oh no, you know, then they fucking kill each other. Yeah, that's how deep it got.
That was the greatest summary of Star Wars ever.
Oh shit, got a little fucking green monster in there telling me what to do. All right.
Well, I know that they just canceled another season of She-Hulk, so that they won't be returning with that.
And it's a shame
series.
Because I'm telling you, if they just let go of the bullshit and just represent She-Hulk at who she is, they'll have a phenomenal show. But they just fucking went ham with it. Like, it was just ridiculous. Like, okay, we got it. We got women empowerment. We got men are idiots. You know, the She-Hulk. Okay, we fucking got it, but you know what? You didn't do She-Hulk justice. You got so lost in this political shit that you didn't do She-Hulk justice, and just the storyline of She-Hulk alone would have done her justice. And you want to talk about women empowerment? She'll punch a fucking guy through the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that right there. But,
well, I know. Wasn't there a part in that? Did you watch that series, by the way? On Disney?
I did.
Wasn't there a scene where she like got her freak on as the Hulk?
Yeah.
I mean, she pretty much.
Control.
Yeah, she could have fucked that man up.
You're coming with me, motherfucker. Oh, all right. The guy was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get more badass.
Don't do any kegels. Don't do any kegels while we doing our thing, lady. You want to castrate the shit out of me.
Yeah, literally.
All right, let's move on from that. I feel like Incredible Hulk is my favorite version of the Hulk, and it's Caden's favorite. That was what he was introduced to as the Hulk. So let's move on now. Eminem album just dropped 2 days ago. It's called the Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. You said you listened to a little bit of it. I brought it up to your attention a couple of days ago. I listened to the whole thing a couple times. I'm an Eminem fan. I understand how he pushes the boundaries with his content, and there's a lot of things that he says that he could be canceled for, which is, I think, that is the theme of the album. It's if he were to kind of come back in this day and era, would he survive in it? I really feel like, the shenanigans aside, it's one of his best albums in a really, really long time. There's a lot of lyrical content. There's the delivery that I've always been a fan of, but I never feel like he wavers off of like on some weird shit. I think he stuck to the script of being, procrastinating and antagonizing, and, the shock and awe of, did he just say that, is heavy in this, but also There's a lot. There's a song at the end where he obviously dedicates to his daughter Haley, which gets me all fucking emotional. He has a lot of songs like that. I'm a fan of Eminem, and I like this album. I give it like, if there's a 5-star rating, I personally give it probably like a 4 out of 5.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I honestly, I like Eminem. A fan. I won't justify to call myself a fan. I like him. If it comes through the radio, I'll hear it. But
yeah.
when you told me about the album, I'm like, oh shit, you know what? I never actually listened to it, and I spent literally the 10 minutes prior to all this listening to his album, you know, and just skipping through. And let me tell you, just from the short time I listened to it, it was honestly a breath of fresh air. I can see where he's coming from in regards to, you know, the whole body bag front cover, you know, and and quote unquote trying to get canceled for this. You know, he's always the first to take that breath of fresh air and say, fuck it, I'm done. You know, and this is what it is. This is like, not as I'm done with my career, I'm done being afraid of being canceled. You know, because we're on this whole cancel shit. You know, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't do that, to a point where it kind of puts us in the tunnel, you know, creatively with these artists. Like, every artist is afraid to say something and it completely cancels. So it sounds like Eminem just took on that step on the ledge and say, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm finally going to go back to being who I am, or was, or still are, you know, and just say whatever the fuck I'm going to say. And if I get canceled, I get canceled. He's lived his life, you know, he's done his career. So he's at a point right now that says, you know what, I'm done hiding behind these labels, these topics, you know, these producers saying, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. Like, he probably woke up and said, you know what, I'm fucking Eminem.
Yeah.
I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. If I get canceled, oh fucking well, you know. And that, hearing that, and then hearing through all the songs in his albums, like, you know what, this is actually a really great album. So I agree with the 4 out of 5 thing.
Yeah, even like, I always hang my hat on, like, I'm able to be very respectful, and I'm open minded, and hearing people, and obviously I did a podcast for 3 years where I interviewed people about their journey. I'm very, very aware that there are topics of conversation that come up in that album that is crossing the line, and it can be very offensive. But I'm also aware that people have a right to a degree to speak about their truth and how they want to speak it. And I also know that there's a fine line of, like, the satire, the humor that's being played here, to not take things too seriously. And maybe that sounds hypocritical, but I'm just being honest. Like, that's how Bro Church is, in a way. Obviously, I don't think we would go as far as what Eminem would do in certain things, but we will touch on things and poke fun at, but it's all humor, and it's all the initial, like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't just say that. It's that I shouldn't be saying that, but I'm going to say it. That feeling and that rush, I feel like that's really the drive behind, you know, the Slim Shady character. But just there's a song on it, it's my favorite one, called Fuel, where it's just the lyrical prowess of it. Him with another cat called JID, who I don't know. I got hip to a few artists on this album just because they're on this album. Now I want to go check out their work. They're younger artists. They're more current. But it was just dope. You know, I've listened to some albums that he's put out in the recent, and I'm like, all right, like, I like Eminem, but that was all right. It was kind of corny. This to me, it was a great album. The Houdini single that he came out with, that kind of like sounded similar to the Eminem show, where he had that superhero that I get what he's doing. I also always appreciated Eminem's way of, like, telling a story cinematically through his music. And the skits that even though they could be hard to listen to at times, there's a storyteller in there that's rarely appreciated, in my opinion. And as a storyteller myself, I like it. So I just wanted to talk about that because it came out 2 days ago. I think it's already been like 60 some million streams on Spotify. I don't know what maybe I'm pulling out of my ass, but I read something like that online. He has the top 10 songs that are Googled on genius.com for the lyrics. All the top songs are songs from that album. So
you see what I mean? You
yeah,
can't deny the fact that he's a lyrical genius.
Yeah,
man. Like,
it's just
good.
cool. People want to know, did he say that? What did he just say? What does that mean? Because that's what Genius does. For those that don't know, I believe it's genius.com. You go in there and you can read the lyrics of songs, but it also breaks down paragraph by or bar by bar. What's the meaning of this bar? What is it? What is he or she trying to say here?
Wow.
And so if you don't have an understanding of where they're going, it'll break it down for you, which I like. And for that man to have that many songs from the same album searched the most on that website in the past 24, 48 hours, that's incredible. So shout out to the Slim Shady. Obviously, I was in my one and only year in college in '98 was the year he came out. So I've for 20 some years now, I've just been enjoying listening to Eminem.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Eminem, unlike others, he actually, if you work with him as far as trying to get somewhere in his crew, he reps you, he represents you, and he helps you out. You know what I mean? Every other rapper will try to just not even say anything about you. Hey, can you be in my album? Yeah, sure. And then after that, you're done. But with Eminem, he'll fucking wear your merch if you want, if he wants to, just to help you out and represent. That's just the type of guy who he is. He's just, because he doesn't forget where he came from as far as all that struggle, and just given the chance, that one chance by Dr. Dre, that's all that's needed. So, and as far as being a lyrical genius, I mean, come on, man, you cannot deny the fact that this dude is fucking amazing when he puts pen on paper. It's just a fact of the matter. I mean, hate him, love him, he's just a fucking genius when he puts pen on paper. So
if you listen to a lot of his older stuff too, like he's been showing signs of growth where he's starting to leave certain things behind. The Marshall Mathers LP Part 2, the first song on that album where he kind of plays the character Stan, his brother is coming back to kill Eminem, and Eminem is trying to leave. He's coming to grips with the fact that he's got a lot to pay for the things that he's said and done. Obviously, he's a father of, I think, 3 girls. He's adopted 2. He has 1 biological daughter, which is Haley. So there's a lot of growth if people actually take the time to listen to it. I think my only gripe with the theme of this album and the ones in the past, where it's kind of like, I get this, you're trying to let it go or you're trying to grow up. I'm ready for the album where, if this is the death of Slim Shady, then let that shit die and start giving me the bars without the poking fun and the satire. But
I see what you're saying.
Who am I to? Art is in the eye of the beholder, or who am I to tell somebody how they should make their music? I think it's great. What's next? We got a couple more things here. You want to get into? I started taking anxiety meds. You want to get into that real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I here's the thing: is I fucking should have written them down. I can't remember. I think so. I started taking a daily anxiety med called, I think it's called Centraline. Fuck, I'm butchering it. I don't even know. I don't think it's Centraline, because the first 3 letters are sin, and that doesn't sound right at all. But I've been taking anxiety meds because for like the past year, I started experiencing pretty bad panic attacks for the first time, where usually when I get bad, I can kind of like pull myself through it. And usually it's just like, okay, I'm really going through it right now. Oh, there's so much noise. Nobody can shut the fuck up. Let me just pull myself through it. Where now I hit a point where I start to tap out, and I just kind of like stand there like a mute, and I can't. I'm trying to fake a smile so that nobody can, like my wife doesn't see me, like, but she could tell that's a bullshit smile. And it got to the point where I was like, I'm creating more issues for myself by not addressing this, because now it's affecting me in public spaces. So I went to the doctors, and I got my blood pressure checked. My blood pressure had been a little high as of late. And with the passing of my dad a year and a half ago, and because of his blood pressure. I'm like, okay, so I got meds on for that. I got meds it's a daily med for my anxiety, and then I got one for like when my panic attacks kick in. It's something I need right now. I take that. I don't know the name of that. I don't know what it's called. It's called right nowison. I tell you, citrulline, something. Fuck, man. I don't.
Regular fucking. That's the thing that kills me is like they got all these medications, but the fucking names are just ridiculous. Like, why don't they just call it "calm the fuck down" pill or take this shit now? Like.
Well, even my wife, who's like in the medical, my wife's in the medical field, and Alexandra's like, I said, babe, can you send me a list of my medication? And she sends me a list because I was over at the doctor's office, and she sent me a list, but she gave me a name that wasn't. I said, I don't take that. She goes, yeah, you do. It's for your anxiety. I was like, no, it's called this. And she said, yeah, that's the proper name, but the brand name is this, Zoloft or whatever the fuck it was. And I said, how do you know that? And that's fuck. Now I feel like you're flexing on me. Like I just know it as centrally.
I just love how you corrected your wife who's in the medical field.
Yeah. I was like, that's bullshit. I don't take that.
You don't know what you're fucking talking about. As she's in the hospital doing all this stuff. Yeah. You don't know. I got this. You just stay over there. Let me get the name.
The fucking audacity of me.
Yeah, fucking audacity.
But so here's the thing, right? So like I started taking these meds. My blood pressure has gone down because my wife checks it randomly at home.
Fantastic.
My anxiety has gotten better now where I've been able to kind of like, and I've noticed this, where I'm able to engage in certain situations that typically I wouldn't. And I'm so used to not doing it that when it stood out to me that I wanted to do it, it stood out to me. Wow. If that makes any sense. Like I've been in the pool more this year than I have been in the past 7 years because I've just always been like, I just do all this work. I don't want to go in the pool. I just want to chill inside. I've been more active. I've been more engaging. I'm more patient with my children. And I took the other medication when I felt some panic attacks, but they don't do a damn thing. And I found out, ironically, last night, that because I told the doctor, I said, I'm taking 1 to 2 of these and not doing anything. She said, well, take 3. And I was like, okay, I'm telling you.
You want me to fucking snort it next?
But what happened was my daily anxiety meds, I ran out. Like I got to get my prescription filled. So we had company over yesterday and I felt it. And I was like, oh shit. So I am feeling the difference immediately when I'm not on this daily medication.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, I got this one that I was supposed to take in the moment. Let me take that. And the doctor said 3. Dude, I took 3 and I guess it kind of calmed me down. But let me tell you something. 3 hours later, I was so exhausted. And I typically feel exhausted when I deal with anxiety because it drains me.
They're blockers.
I fell asleep on the couch, woke up 2 hours later, was like, oh man, you would have thought I didn't sleep for 3 days. I slept all night. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. I got out of bed. I'm still fucking now I'm starting to feel good. I said, that shit, all that does is just put your ass down for the fucking count. I didn't like that feeling, dude.
Nah. And that's the thing about anxiety meds. Like some of them work and some of them are just strictly blockers. They block your adrenaline so you can just calm down, but you're not calming down. It's putting you to sleep because obviously what happens before you go to sleep? You start to doze off and then boom, you're knocked out. Well, it's trying to mimic that. So the fact that you found medication that doesn't make you feel that fucking drowsy and actually clears you up, dude, that's fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's like a fucking night and day difference too, dude.
Yeah, man. It's a big thing because a lot of things with anxiety, the biggest misinterpretation with anxiety and just anything with mental health is just in the brain. Well, it's not. Sometimes it can be just physical, it can be, like you said, blood pressure that you're having. Sometimes that can actually contribute to anxiety or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? So it comes with, not just analyzing your brain, but actually physically analyzing your brain. Like, what's going on with your brain? What's going on with your body? How's your heart rate? How's your heart? How's your stomach? Because even a lot of anxiety comes from, the stomach. And all this was, I learned from
Right.
Ronnie. Ronnie taught me all this, especially the gut is the biggest thing. You want to talk about
True.
really getting into understanding anxiety. Shit, your sister, man, is just like a professor in it, you know, and she's been doing it off of medication because she takes a
Yeah.
fraction of a pill and it affects her. Just like some
Yeah.
people are highly sensitive, a pill, but so she's like been doing it off and focused on it. You know what I mean? So it's amazing to be able to clear up, and see that journey to be clear up. So I'm excited for you, man. Trying to get on it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
But just for years of dealing with it and not really understanding it.
Yeah.
And then when I got with Alexandra and the patience that woman has with me and my anxiety is remarkable, that it put me in a position that when it started to become a problem, I really couldn't hold it against her because she had already been so patient. So I had to go to the doctor, and I had to, long story short, when I see the results and I feel it, I'm like, okay, I kind of like feeling clear. I kind of like feeling like my girls can talk to me and I don't feel like I'm being squeezed into a bottle or I hear so many noises at once and it drives me crazy. But another thing that I tried too, because listen, I'm 45 years old. Life's too short. My wife and I are like, fuck that. We had a friend of ours. She hooked us up with a little something.
I'm just concerned right now because it's not the name that I'm worried about. It's just like, it was something. It was fucking coke.
No, it was.
It was fucking snowboard.
No, it was a gummy. It was a rap gum. I should have said something. She got a little something. She got a little something.
Sugar boogers.
I've been telling everybody my nose hairs are white. No, but she gave us gummies. Like little round gummies. They look like peach rings.
Yep.
Which, but they don't taste like peach rings. Let me tell you that right now. So she tells my wife, she's like, don't let him, tell him to take only half and then try the rest. So I took half and I think my wife had the other half. No, I'm lying. I tried a quarter of it. I said, well, if she's saying a half, I'm going to try a quarter. And I laid there in bed for like 3 hours. I'm like, I don't know what the hell this shit is. So like, I went to sleep. I slept good. But the next morning I was like, what the fuck, right? So
this ain't my house.
So the next week, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try half of one. Because I have them in my dresser drawer. I have my stash in my socks. Yeah. So I tried half of one, and Alexandra, we're laying in bed, and she's like, "How you feeling?" I'm like, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know. And I slept good, but I never felt any euphoric. And I'm like, maybe I'm supposed to just sleep. I don't know. Like, I'm half tempted to eat a whole gummy during the day just to see how we go.
I have to be there when you do that. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna have a fucking trip.
You just see me just touching air. Like, this air is so soft.
You know what's funny is, like, I want to get Alex's point of view of this story, because if you're like, I don't know how I feel. Her side of the story is like, yeah, I asked you how you're doing. You're like, fucking birds, cars, and trains. I'm gonna fucking knock out. She's like, all right, I guess I got. And then you wake up the next day. I didn't feel a thing.
I didn't feel a thing. Meanwhile, I slept like upside down. I slept in the same position. I didn't move.
Somehow you ended up in the pool.
So anyway, I kind of want to touch base on like that a part of my life, because I'm trying to. Everybody deals with their own shit, and I'm trying to get to a point where what I'm dealing with isn't affecting my relationships and isn't, with my wife or my kids or my family, and it's hard. It's difficult. some people are dealing with it more than others, but I took a chance, and that's my story. I'll find the names of the medication, and because someone's like, "Now, how you going to come on here and talk about shit and not be prepared?" Like I didn't think about that shit, schmuck.
That's when you say, "Go fuck yourself." Take a couple acicyclins.
Yeah, go here. Here's 3. Here, take these Cinetrels, bitch, and go to sleep.
Fuck you. How's that?
Let's talk about our last. Yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say, I tell you what, it's that's the one thing we all need to do is just start looking at anxiety and just mental health as a a topic.
You have to,
especially in a relationship, because you're not the only one there. You got to see it from their point of view too. So a lot of times that does help. You see, what, this is causing some issues. What do I do? The question of what do I do now to fix this is the start. When we get to a point where well, it's not me, and then we're not really fixing anything. When we drop that down and say, you know what, maybe it is me, let me see what I can do to fix it, man, your world opens up. There's a lot of things you can change with mental health. It's amazing, but we're all afraid to talk about it, especially guys, because we're always told, fucking suck it up, take a walk, have a beer, and then other guys would be like, "Oh, you fucking pussy," you know what I mean?
Well, just even last month, because I was doing this for it's been a little over a month now. So last month, June being National Mental Awareness for Men Month, it kind of was all these conversations that I was having and on the podcast and the interviews with people about mental health or the medications that they were taking or the help that they were seeking. It kind of was man, I need to really start taking care of myself and making the effort to get the information at least.
Yes,
so I encourage anybody, especially you guys, put that pride aside, do your research, look for something that don't make you feel like you're not yourself. Cause that was my thing, is I don't want to feel like I'm not in control of who I am, because you don't want that feeling. And whatever that medication is, I got to go get my re-up. So after this, I got to go to CVS and get the refill.
Yeah. And if your significant other is in the medical field and they tell you, hey, this is the name of the medicine, believe them. Don't tell them that they're wrong, all right? Because kind of overstepping your boundary there.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, just message me on the side and I'll explain to you how not to do that.
How not to do that. I'll tell you
right.
You know what? The theme of Bro Church right now is saving relationships.
Yeah, saving relationships or saving your ass. Saving your ass so you can save your relationship.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to Al. You're like, hey, so how's Dr. Felix over there telling you how to do your fucking job?
All right, man. So we're going to get ready to wrap this up. But last topic of the conversation is middle of July. We've been dealing with a heat wave. What's it like in Delaware? Because here it's humid and the grass doesn't want to grow, which is kind of cool because I don't have to cut it. But I go outside for 30 seconds and I start dripping sweat down my brow. Obviously, we used to work at FedEx together. I don't know what it's like now where you work, but is it still hot? Are you're in the office environment a little bit? You get to sit in that AC a little bit. Yeah.
I go out and see the peasants every once in a while.
You go out there and throw breadcrumbs here, bitch. I'm only joking. That was a joke.
Calling human resources right now. I'll tell you what, it is so fucking hot that how you say your face drips of sweat, and you're fucking dripping of sweat. It is so fucking hot that the first time ever has happened to me where I can actually feel sweat drip off my balls. I understand what Lil John was talking about. Because I'm there standing there in the fucking dock, and all of a sudden, ball sweats start dripping. I'm like, Lil John, I fucking get it now. I fucking understand. At first, I was like, what's he mean? Nope, I get it. That's how fucking hot it is. Till the sweat drips off my balls. That's how hot it is.
Yeah, as long as it's sweat, not skeet. As long as it's sweat and not skeet, man, because I don't need to hear about
it ain't, no,
skeet,
trust me, it ain't skeet, it's
skeeting.
fucking sweat. I'm fucking telling you, man. Sweat balls is a whole nother thing, man. I tell you, if weather people would just say, hey, here's the temperature for today, Monday it's going to be rainy, and Tuesday you will be sweating off your balls. Testes. Things will be dripping down. That's how fucking hot it is. Ladies, you will have a pair of balls these days, and they will drip. It's gonna happen, dude. It's insane. Down here in Delaware, it's nothing but humidity. It is fucking thick. So I can't. There's a lot of times where I can't tell if I'm sweating or
Swamp
if it's
ass.
the humidity. And you know what's crazy is yesterday I'm training out to be to test out for firefighter 1 and 2, and we're in full fucking gear. Dude, you want to talk about fucking sweat? Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
I'm taking
you're
that
gonna
shit
be
off.
you're gonna be
This
feeling
is
it, dude. You're gonna be feeling it, dude.
Dude,
Oof.
ball sweat, nipple sweat, every excretion coming out of my body was like, yep, we're sweating today. I'm like, yep, it happened. Like, fucking mustache was sweating and everything.
You thinking about cutting down that mustache when it gets too hot?
No, man. It ain't gonna happen, dude. It's all fucked up, too. I don't have, some of these guys have, perfect mustache. Mine's, it just did a 40-hour work week. It's just like, fuck it. It's Saturday. I'm relaxing.
It's like I worked 80 hours this week. Don't ask me how.
Yeah, don't ask me. Look at my stash. It fucking says it all. No, I normally keep because Ronnie hates it. Every time she looks at it, she's like, hey, you can't fucking do it.
I remember before I left FedEx and before they redid all the break rooms, and we used to have lockers in the bathrooms, and you'd have baby powder in your locker for this time of year because you'd get swamp ass on the dock, and you'd see guys in there just opening up their pants and just shaking baby powder down their Gold Bond ball powder, just dumping it down there. And I'm like, I remember being like, yeah, I don't blame you. And now 2 years removed from working at FedEx, where I work now, it gets a little warm inside because it's like a big warehouse type of, but it's air conditioned, and it's like I gotta count my blessings, man, because I could be right now crawling in a long box on top of freight to put a strap in, and the back of my neck touching the top of that box where it's burning your skin. You know what I mean? Things like that I just don't fucking miss, dude.
Oh, it's a fucking oven, dude. I'm telling you, it's a fucking oven every time. And you know what's the worst part is because we deal with a lot of freight, especially hazmat freight. And for 4th of July was coming around the corner, and every motherfucker wants to blow up fireworks. So where do you think those fireworks got to come? On fucking trailers. So hot as fucking days, open up the trailer door, trailer full of fireworks. So I'm like, yeah, this is the day I'm going to die.
This is safe.
This is safe. That's just gonna happen. Oh, we're gonna reach that point. Fucking 4th of July is gonna happen early.
Boom! What happened? Dave was here. Dave's not here.
That's what happened. It was just plain and simple. That's actually what I want on my tombstone. Dave was here. No longer here anymore.
Oh man, yo, this was great. I wanna quickly shout out this Guayabera right here. If you see, it's got the skull with the crown on it. Alexandra and I walked into a spot in San Antonio, Texas, when we were visiting Emmy and Mary. And we went walking around, and there's a spot. It's called Divide and Conquer. And it's owned by a cat named Javier who has, I'm forgetting the gentleman's last name, so forgive me, Javi. But he makes these. He makes leather jackets. He makes all kinds of fucking aprons. It's all custom made. But this was hanging there, right? And we had already started talking about doing Bro Church, and we already had the logo. And Alexandra was like, "Oh my God, look at that!" So she gifted this for my birthday at the time for me, and I just wanted to shout out. I said, man, it's a Guayabera and it's got fucking skull and crowns on it. Yeah. I said, Bro Church is here, bitches.
Yeah. It was a sign he walked. It was like, ooh.
What? Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. And she gifted me another one. I got another one custom made where it's got red flowers all over it. It's some of the pictures I already shared. So that was also from Divide and Conquer. So y'all gotta check that. I'm gonna put that link in the description of this episode because I just feel like if you're into guayaberas and you're in the Texas area, the San Antonio area, you gotta check out Divide and Conquer. And then he's not paying me for that. I just wanted to wear it because it just felt like it was a sign, bro. Like that's got it's yo. We were because the first thing I did was look for the tag to see what size it was, and I was like, "There's no tag. There's nothing." And he was helping another gentleman, and he kind of overheard us, and he's like, that's custom made. There's no tag. It's got like a tag at the bottom. It's his like signature tag, I think. But there's no tag back here. He's like, that's like a 3X. I'm like, oh shit, that might fit me because my big ass needs a fucking 3X. And I put this bitch on. I said, my God, I said, this is what our boss wears. I said, mijo, put this in the bag, bro. Let's go. And then I was like, let me not talk like that because all the fucking Mexicans in that area about to fucking kick my ass. But and speaking of San Antonio, Texas, that place was beautiful. The vibe, the culture was beautiful. My wife and I went there back in April for my birthday. And like I said, to visit Emmy and Mary. But my God, bro, like if you ever get a chance, like when they say Tex-Mex, that shit is legit. One thing we didn't get to do is have the ribs. But the food, the culture, the drinks, the fucking the mariachi band playing on this side. And there's a fucking country band playing on that side. I don't know. I bought myself a hat and everything, bro. I went all in.
I want to try all their BBQ stations, man. I'm all about barbecue, dude.
Yeah,
and
the
things that their smokehouses and stuff like that. Oh my God! All I hear.
If we had another week, because that's you need at least a couple weeks just to absorb it.
Yeah, it's fucking great culture down there, man. I want to try all that. And that guayabera is fuck. Does he have a website? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna put. He makes these custom leather jackets, leather. He makes dresses too, guayabera dresses. So they've got the guayabera strip, the ripple, but it's a dress. There's one that looks just like this. My wife wanted to get it, but I mean, like, you know, he charges. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't mad at the guy, but my wife was like, I don't know how but but you know what I mean? He's got fucking celebrities walking in there, and you know the comedian, the guy the machine, the comedian that takes his shirt off.
Oh yeah.
He's been in there taking pictures with him. Yeah. So I was like,
I don't know why he's in there. He's always taking his fucking shirt off.
I don't think they care. Just make sure you pay for this guayabera. Don't rip this shit, bro. Listen, man. I'm just hyped.
I want to try that out, man. That's pretty fucking cool.
I just had to wear it because this is episode 1. We had a couple episodes recorded beforehand, but we were trying to get our shit together and the levels of my mic, and I lost my voice. Just
I remember that.
When you listen back to it, I'm like, fuck, I sound like shit. So, like I said, I need to come with the fucking energy because Dave always has this fucking energy, and I need
it just
to
happens.
match this shit. I need to fucking.
That's all the fucking coffee in the morning just kicks in all at once. I always wanted to do the fashion part, especially in guayabera. I tried guayabera once, and I was like, okay, I get it. But then again,
bro.
My shirts only last with sleeves for so long before I start cutting the sleeves off, and I've had this hat for like how long already?
You could probably get one. You could probably get one custom made where it's like the sleeves aren't even on the guayabera.
I am down with that. If that's what it's gonna end up that way.
He's gonna be like, listen, or maybe you could just get them like short sleeves so you don't have to roll them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like get the sleeve, like what do they call it, the quarter?
Where's your scrap section? I just want to shop from there. I'm just gonna work that. I'm okay with that. Right.
All right.
I was like, why don't you dress up? Like, hey, I tried.
This is the scrap sleeve. It's the scrap sleeve.
Yeah, it's a sleeve. You never know what's gonna happen.
Oh man, so is there anything else, Dave, you'd like to tell the people that are that have nothing better to do but watch us do a bunch of foolery?
Don't do coke. or meth. Meth makes you suck dick for directions. You don't have to do that. You start sucking dick for directions, man, you got a problem.
Well, if you start sucking dick for directions, I don't want to know about it.
Yeah,
I just hope we got there.
I want to sit down and talk to somebody.
All right, man. Hey, that's the Dave. I'm Felix. We're out. Bro Church is out. Peace.